Welcome back to the daily setup show. So the first chart in the macro anchor segment we are going to look at is again DXY. Now, in the episode day before yesterday, the first episode, I had shared this exact chart. And since then, DXY, we're looking at a daily candle. So last 2 days, DXY has reached to our interim resistance or target, which was over here. You can go back and check the video if you want to see the accuracy. So this is a checkpoint now for DXY. If it starts to cool off from here and comes down and retest this zone, then that can give some kind of a relief rally to all the stressed assets, especially gold, silver, because they are getting crushed because of this DXY move. So this is a checkpoint. It is currently at a checkpoint. Whether it starts cooling off and gives a small correction to come back and retest these zones, that is what we need to watch. And if it breaks out, the next major area is this blue line that I have highlighted, which is, in my opinion, a very critical pivotal point, which is at 103.4. If DXY starts consolidating above 103.4, then I think it is a risk off sign or signal where all the risk on assets like stocks, crypto will get further pressure from the markets. But if DXY starts to correct again and it comes back in this range, then you can say that the short term pressure would be off, and now you can expect further continuation in the risk on rallies. So this is a checkpoint for DXY, and this is what we need to see what happens in the DXY chart. So the first trading setup we are going to look at is Bitcoin. Now this is a 15-minute chart on Bitcoin. So this is for the short term. The first thing we observe is that it is facing this resistance from the trend line. So there are two levels. The first important level right now is $61,200, $300 range. If Bitcoin can hold this range as support, then the long trigger would be only if it breaks this zone, this downward zone, and consolidates above, then you can long and target 63,500, where your stop loss would be somewhere below here. Or else the second trading opportunity would be again to take a short, but first let it break and consolidate below this, then you short it and your target would be 59,200. So these are the two small ranges you can play. Both are a $2,000 move. So if DXY continues to rip higher today, then we can again see that Bitcoin might go and retest these lows, and this can provide a trading opportunity. But if DXY starts cooling off, then there is a very good probability of Bitcoin breaking out of this resistance, flipping this into support and giving us this move where you can target this. And if DXY further corrects, then it can also go and tag this $65,000 region. But in the short term, this is a clear trading opportunity. $2,000 move on the either side with a very tight stop loss. So the loss is very less in case we hit a stop loss. And if in case we are rewarded, then your profit is big. So this is the first trading setup that I can clearly see. The next trading setup that I am seeing right now is on the Uber stock. So again, you can trade this stock as it is available as a tokenized stock on MEXC, VIX, and all the exchanges. Do use our links to get that rewards that is there for our community. So in the description, you will find different sign up bonuses. So you can use that links and take benefit of the opportunity that we are getting. So Uber is currently breaking out of this downtrend. And now I see a good risk to reward because the risk is too small. Your stop loss is acceptance below $68, and the reward is good where target one for Uber stock is $84 region, and target 2 is $94 region. So you see there is a risk of $6 per share and the reward is of 10 and $20 per share. So if you want to take a trade on Uber stock, you can go for a long with a very clear stop loss of 67.5 to $68. Friends, Weeks Exchange has come up with an exclusive reward for Bitcoingem community where you can sign up and claim up to $10,000 in reward depending on your trading volume. So you can deposit $100 and get 40 USDT back. So there are different rewards depending on the trading volume. If you're looking for a non-KYC exchange, then this is an exchange that you can look for. And to use, there is no harm in depositing $100, $200 and to use this benefit that they are offering to our community. Along with crypto, you can trade tokenized stocks as well as gold and silver. So there are a lot of trading assets available depending on which asset do you want to trade. So this is an opportunity. Again, this is not a promotion of this exchange. I have also deposited a small amount and I am trading with my own money on this exchange to see how it is. But if you're looking for a non-KYC exchange and if there are some rewards to be claimed, then I don't see as any harm. So if you want to do sign up using our link and use this benefit. So in today's indices segment, we are going to look at SPX chart. Now this is an SPX daily chart. And on the daily, it is certainly looking kind of a toppy structure or a distributive structure. Now you can see over here also it made a similar structure, but even then it continued for a long sideways distribution before correcting. So something like this can also happen if DXY starts to cool off for a few weeks or months, and we can see some kind of a cooling phase where this starts distributing and then you go for a correction. So technically there are three important levels on the daily chart. The most important level for it is 7268 on the daily. As long as it is holding 7268, the bulls are still in the momentum. And the next resistance, in my opinion, would be 7728, which will be a new all-time high. But if at all it breaks this support of 7268, then I see an instant huge correction all the way down to 6853, which is a previous support or a distributive range. So on the daily, it is certainly looking toppy, but if DXY starts to cool off, then you can expect some more rally or euphoria going on in the stock market and continue with this distributive phase. Overall, as long as it doesn't break this $7728 region with conviction, I wouldn't get extra bullish, or to me this is still looking like a toppy region, so I would be cautious over here. If you look at it on the 1 hour chart, you can clearly see the rounding top that it is forming on the 1 hour chart. This is a very textbook rounding top, and of course it will confirm only once it starts consolidating below this region. Then you can see this is the correction mode that it can take. So it's forming a rounding top on 1 hour, and on the daily also it's starting to look toppy. Invalidation, of course, would be if it starts to consolidate above this zone, and then it can go for another leg up. But to me, this looks like a toppy structure until proven otherwise. So, of course, if DXY starts to correct, then there would be some kind of a relief bounce, and it is also currently approaching support and not resistance. So if you're somebody who is looking to short this, then the short trigger would only come if it starts consolidating below this, or if it goes for a retest of these highs again. And then if you see some kind of a rejection, or again some kind of a fake breakout, and it is back in this range, then that can again give you a shorting opportunity where you short with the target one of 7268, and you can also continue some position with target of 6853. But do keep in mind that DXY is currently at resistance or a checkpoint. So if DXY decides to cool off, then we can expect this rally. If DXY decides to rip, then you can expect a further continuation of this correction. But the main support for SPX is 6853. So this is overall what S&P 500 is looking right now. I hope you find today's video valuable. Thank you for joining me, and do come back tomorrow for the new episode.